Hello, welcome to the second part of this tutorial. And in this section we're going to introduce the can into this pre-made background that I made using a number of solids and shape layers and animated it to the beat of the song. So after making this, we're going to introduce the can into this background, color correct it to match the background, and then we're going to color correct it to match the background, and then we're going to add the flying in title. So let's get into that. Take the BG composition and drop it into a new composition, and then let's take our audio layer, drop it there, and let's get our soda can here. Because we saved it as PNG, we don't have to mask it out, it comes without the background. Drop it into the compositions timeline, and then drop down the menu to the scale property and scale it down a little bit. What you're gonna do now is color correct it, so making sure that the layer is selected, go to effects, color correction, and first we're going to use color link. What this does is that it uses a sample of all the colors in the background to colorize the can. So let me show you how it does that. I change this to stencil alpha, and it will use the matte of the can as the shape layer. And let's change the source to the background so that it can use the source color of the background. And when you scroll through, you can see that it changes with the mood of the color. It takes a sample of the color and creates a sample, a combination of all the colors, and makes one sample for the can. And then when we change the blending mode to something like overlay, there we have it. It's colorized, you see. And so the next thing we do, we'll animate the can to the beat of the song. The background is already made animated to the beat of the song. I'll give you the project in case you want to follow along and check out how I did that. So let's get into animating the can. We'll use the puppet pin tool. Here it is. Click here to create 3 points like joints where you'd move a puppet. And then in order to create an animation, just control, hold, and click. Okay, before we do that, click and hold, and before we do that, you might want to change the speed to 50%, because at 100% it's really hard to animate the song to the beat of the song. So just come here to speed, click 50. Yours will be at 100 most probably, then press OK. After that, come here, control, click and hold. Okay, and then when you're finished, just play it along, and you'll see the can has already created automatic keyframes as you are animating it, you see. And now it will play to the beat of the song. Let me create a small RAM preview here to show you what I mean. It's gonna take some time to render. My comp is a bit slow, but just want to show you the effect that I'm talking about. When we render the whole of it, it creates a kind of, it's like the can is dancing to the beat of the song. So yeah, that's what I used. And then after that, we're going to use the starch tool to kind of use the starch tool. Those parts that, like, when you move it to the right too much, it kind of bends here on top and here in the middle, so here in the bottom. So when you use the starch tool, it will kind of hold that part a little bit stronger, so that it doesn't bend that much. And when we remove the mesh, you can see the effect that I'm talking about. Without it, it was a little bit bent. Now it's looking better. So after that, you're going to now add the text. Just click and write kinywaji soft drink. Now the font I'm using is called Mile Regular. It's 12 pixels. I've used a small stroke of 7 pixels. Canning is tracking is 17. Canning is 16 negative 16 pixels, and the tracking is, and the leading is at 7 pixels. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is, okay, in the can, we forgot to add this kind of glow that we saw in the original tutorial, so let me show you how we're going to do that. Come here, right click, go to layer styles, go to outer glow, and then drop down and change this to a kind of orangish color. Then we can increase the spread like to 8% and the size to around 40%. And there we have it. And then we can do the same on the text now for the text to stand out better inside the composition. So just right click, layer styles, outer glow, drop down, change this to black, since we want to create this kind of contrasting look so that the text can stand out. And then change the spread to around 6 and increase the size to around, okay, what's wrong? Let's change this screen from screen to overlay. Yeah, then reduce the spread a little bit. I think that's enough. And now to animate it, we'll use the animate properties here, borrowed from Illustrator. Just enable character 3D, add the rotation property. Oh no, undo that. Add the position property, and then on the position property, add the rotation property. And so what we're going to do is kind of position the text like out of, as if it was out of the screen, so that when it plays back it comes from the same position. Put this down a little bit. And here it looks good now. Let's change the X rotation to around 3 revolutions, and then let's increase this ones to around 10 each of them. And then now when we come here to the range properties, if we animate the offset property here, you see the name kind of animates itself coming in per character. Now to make this even better, if we drop down to the advanced settings and change this to ramp up, you see they kind of rotate in one by one. You have this beautiful effect. So just come here to like 7 seconds there, create a keyframe for -100 so that it's out of the screen, go like 4 seconds, and then take it to 100 and it will animate itself. See? Now it can hold for around 2 seconds so that a person can read it, and it ends here too. And here just resize the composition and then the work area, and then come here and trim the composition to the work area. And that's how I created this. Yeah, so see you later.